What's up, guys? How's everyone doing? Jim Rat Crypto here, and we're doing some live onboarding with the Space Grime top 15 stakeholder. Wait, no, he's a top 15 Space Grime holder. So we're really dug into him yesterday. We told him when he was in a meme coin. We told him he got wrecked. We told him that I got wrecked. Everyone's gotten wrecked. I get wrecked. I'll get wrecked next week probably. So, but we're just trying to spread some love, guys. Randy's in here. Hilarski. My buddy Luke's in here. I need to learn. Okay. I want to learn. That's why I bring Randy in here, because Randy has more experience than me. Guys, just because I'm on Twitter and I have a nice amount of followers and I say stuff doesn't mean I know what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying I don't, but you got to remember, like, I could stay up here and pretend I'm the smartest dude alive and just talk around in circles and not let anyone into my circle. But I really want to learn. And that's why I'm here. I really, really, really want to learn. So let's get these boys on here. Boom, boom. Hold on one second. Let me see the best layout. That's the best layout.
That's probably the best.
Yeah. So, guys, Randy,
Luke,
how's everyone?
Let's remind the world.
Remind my mother, Mom, please. Taxes are theft, and you're getting it raked over the coals, and I'll tell you until you're gone. I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you. I can't help it. But Randy is a man who, let me introduce Randy, because even Luke's not a part of the Hex community at all. He doesn't, he's not until yesterday when he came on my live stream. Ooh. Is that, which website do you get that on?
Hex merch. That's
your favorite.
Motley's platform.
Yeah, so taxation is theft. Ooh, inviting freedom. What a smart girl she is. I love inviting freedom. She's so awesome, and she is a bulldozer in those voice spaces on Twitter. So we're in here today. Luke reached out to me about crypto in a general way. He probably just asked me a quick question or something. I responded. I said, shut up. Let's go on the show. Yesterday, we went on the show. He had some amazingly insightful questions. We had it ended up being more about Bitcoin in the general market than we were just trying to get the ethos and figure out some of the, but today Luke's actually gone through with buying some of this and switching some of these things over from other cryptos and stuff he was playing with. So we're going to talk about everything. Luke, you have any questions for us?
No. You said I'm top 15 Space Grime holders. No longer. Sold 80% of the bag. I kept a few trillion in there, so
that's awesome, dude.
I'm excited to get on board.
Randy, how are you? What time of the day is it over where you are?
It's noon. It's noon.
Oh, cool. We're in the same same zone. I cracked a beer, Mom. I'm not an alcoholic. It looks so tasty in the fridge.
Oh, God. I just had to go on the video and like it.
Feel better.
Randy, you know where we're coming from with this guy. It's a classic, right? Is this a classic if you've ever seen one? The guy goes into crypto for the first couple years, doesn't really know what's going on, and then someone sells him on a memer, and then they learn. That's how you learn. That's how I learned.
Yeah, for me, it was dark coin. It was Bitcoin. I couldn't even hold a couple years. I mean, it was like a week for me. I got into Bitcoin, oh, look at this shiny thing. And I got into dark coin, which ended up being Dash. But, and it would have ended up working out. But still, I made such a huge mistake. I sent all of my Dash to the incorrect wallet and lost it all. And in the future, it would have been at the peak of Dash, it would have been probably $500,000.
Wait, so you're saying that you made a mistake in the sending of something?
Yeah, when Darkcoin became Dash, you had to use this. You were supposed to send your coins to this other system before it changed to Dash. Well, I sent mine directly to the Dash wallet, not knowing, and just nuked all my coins. So they're still out there in La La Land. I've had a Dash Pro look at it. I said, bro, sorry, man. They're gone. So. Yeah,
it's really hard. It's really hard. Crypto it's cutthroat. They don't care if you're on the ground bleeding with your house up because you got 100x leverage. They do not care. That is the business that they made and you clicked on. So you got to understand, guys, accountability to ourselves. I'll say it 100%. Randy knows if he F's up, he'll come on stream and just be like, I made a dumbass move, whatever.
Yeah.
Like he's not a robot.
You can see some of my old videos where I talked about my mistakes and where I've lost a lot of money, and I actually showed where I did it. And oh man, looking back, that was a ton of money lost.
Luke, do you have any questions about staking in general? I know there's skepticism from the normies about staking because they think it goes straight into Richard Hart's bank account, but that's not how. I just want to know, do you have any lurking notions about that? Is that something you're comfortable? Like you've already heard of stuff like that through the other coins that you were holding?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, staking a crypto is, good because you get returns in the future. But for me, if I see my bag go from 3,000 to 60,000, I'm like, dude, I want that money in my pocket.
And we're going to explain to you something that is just a part of crypto, and I'm going to say the broad spectrum, and I'm going to let Randy get a little more into it. But cryptos drop 85%. Deal with it now, or you have to leave.
100%. I mean, obviously,
85%. You have to think about how large that really is. If my bag's $1 million and I'm a 28-year-old man, your bag's going to 150K, and you have to eat that and understand that you're the only one that's eating that for a reason. Me and Randy are eating that because we're getting all the gains because we know where it's going. We know everyone's locking in their losses. You know what I mean? Randy, what do you think?
Yeah. Before we get into hex staking, I want to talk a little bit about the way I learned to make money in crypto. And this has nothing to do with hex. Whenever a coin doubles, you take out 30%. Every time a coin doubles, you take out 30%. And it worked out great for me for years until hex came along, and I can't take out that 30%. It just keeps compounding. And it's ridiculous, the compounding. My staker app, I just look at it sometimes. I'm like, how the hell did this happen? I invested like 15 grand total, and we won't say the number now, but it's a lot of freaking money. And at the peak, it was insanity. So take your profits. It's okay. Recently, Hedron launched, and it did. The second time it peaked out, I sold about 2.5 billion Hedron, and it was enough to get a couple of Ethereum and pay all my fees and still have a little bit left over. And then when it bottomed out again, I used that money that I had and I bought like triple my bag back.
that's why
now, is that a smart decision for the average person, Randy? Randy, you're deep.
This is trading,
deep, bro.
This is trading.
So,
right?
but you're a skilled trader at this point, right?
Yes, I am. But I mean, I'm not a trader as in TA guy. I just use signals, and signals for me.
And the Aurochs indicator that I've seen in your bio and on your videos.
I use Aurochs. That's all I use. The Aurochs indicator is all I need. And whatever it tells me to do, I'm like, yes, master. And I make a move and I'm fine.
See, Randy's super practical about where his energy goes, right? Like I can tell because you're the same way I am about some other stuff in my life. Like, you're not going to be the best trader that ever existed if you put 10 hours into it.
Well, I got ADD, man. There's no way I can do it.
So you're just like, let me hedge my bets on that, get the best information I can, and then just hedge it. And let's go for 60-40. You know what I mean? Like,
the problem is I show people the Aurochs indicator and they start using it on the 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour charts. I'm using it on the daily and weekly. I'm not making a trade every day.
You're making Luke's hair pop up on his neck. He's really feeling vibrantly orgasmic right now.
No, I'm agreeing with him 100%. I'm agreeing with him because, Scott, like you said before, if you had $1 million and you go down 80%, you take 30% of your bag at $1 million, you have $300,000 sitting for the tank.
Yeah. But I know, oh no, it's so right. Of course, like if you bought at the top, I mean, if you buy at an 80% dip, that's a 5x just to get back to regular. Right? Like I totally, and I get that concept so much. But I know Randy's skilled, and I'm trying to let everyone know that I'm not emotionally ready. I'm just not. I can tell.
I want to shout out Hex Champion 369. Welcome, man. I'm glad you saw one of my videos.
Oh, that reminds me. I should talk to the chat, guys. I'm really sorry. I'm like brand new, and this is like I'm like so invested in this conversation already. I'm like totally forgot where I was. Pulse Lord in here early, dude. If anyone needs beats of any sort for anything in front of a video, behind a video, I mean, I'm not saying he does stuff for free, but he does crazy stuff. Like for sure, he raps on beats. It's insane. And then Inviting Freedom. She's always in the Twitter spaces. She's awesome. Always in here. Always supporting me, always, no matter what. Even though
Hex Twitter space is amazing,
it's amazing. And then
we learned so much in there.
Hex Champion is one of my regulars now, and Hex Papa was the first one to ever use the Shield Masters promo code that I got with Shield Masters over here, Randy. So it's if anyone wants one of these shields, you can get 50 off if you use GRC50. It's on the bottom. But it was just kind of fun, like something I thought was cool. Is my best friend in the world's company, and he bought one, and it made me so happy. Like not because of the money or anything. I was just so happy about learning how to build wealth online and even getting that part of my brain expanded. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We got a new one. Never met him. If that's your body, you're absolutely ripped. And I would think you were on some pharmaceuticals, but we don't judge over
something.
here. We don't judge over here. I'm not worthy, but I'll keep it. You are worthy. Don't say that about you are worthy. I hear what you got to say in there. Erwin, dude, Erwin's always in my chat, retweeting my stuff. I really appreciate it. PVM, thank you so much. And let's get back to
let's talk about the staking again. So there's the trading aspect. The trading is good. Trading gives you those endorphin hits. It's exciting, and you take big wins, you take big losses. It's not much different than the casino, but it's actually you have a better chance of winning trading than you do at the casino, obviously. So if you're pretty good at it and you're using signals, you should be fine. But on the other hand, staking cures you of that. And I think Dash was the first real coin that had a good staking mechanism where you could earn rewards. And that was the first time I was actually earning rewards, and I liked it. I said, oh, this is great. But there just wasn't enough adoption. Their whole idea was, oh, we want Dash to be a currency. So it ended up not working out too well because they kept focusing on the freaking currency instead of a store of value, where they should have been focusing on store of value like Hex did. So Hex is a store of value. We earn a 3.69% interest or rewards on our tokens that are staked. That is the absolute minimum that you could earn. That's only if 100% of all the Hex is staked do you earn 3.69%. But currently, it's about 9.5% of all the coins are staked. So we're earning about 10 years. If you do the whole 10 years, it's about 38.5%. And that's compounding. So if the OA, the origin address, was to stake all of their coins, and they own over, I don't know, was it now 50% because they've sacrificed a bunch? But about 50%?
After the sacrifice. Before it was like 80%.
80, yeah, 85.
And now in those sacrifice phases, I don't know if we got into that, Luke, but those are how you get into.
Yeah, you told me about it.
2 new projects, and the OA put 50% of all the Hex they owned into the sacrifice phases. So
I didn't
now
know that number. Wow.
Yeah, 50%. So now we're down to less than 50% of Hex is still available to the OA. So we're in a really good position right now, and those coins will never be staked. Those coins are gone forever. So bye-bye. So I think that we're going to be locked into a really good interest rate for a long time.
And I wanted to ask you, which I asked Scott yesterday, is what is the
Jim Rat?
All right. What is have you ever heard of a coin that comes out with their own DEX, their own decentralized exchange, that's ever been successful?
Absolutely.
Tron was. Tron did very well.
Tron's been at 8 cents to 12 cents for the past.
Wait, why do you say decentralized? What do you guys mean by that? What coin? What category are y'all talking about?
Layer 1. He's talking about layer 1.
Yeah, there's plenty of layer 1s with DEXs that work great.
Of X,
BNB.
But they have their own. They have
work great, but it's powerful. It's got a lot of people.
What I'm saying is, why isn't Hex focused on getting on exchanges like KuCoin, Binance?
Because you understand, once you understand about exchanges and how toxic and how not central, it's all centralized. It's the exact reason why crypto was invented. And I'm not saying you can't have crypto on those things and exchanges or whatever, do whatever you want. But I'm saying the decentralized currency is it's different from having. I know they can have it listed on Coinbase, but he's not overdoing it, pursuing it, because really he doesn't think it'll necessarily help anything.
Richard's made it clear that he's not pursuing it. If they want to list their coin, they have to come buy them on the market. There is no coins for set aside. Like when I launched over 40 projects, we always had coins set aside to give to exchanges so that they have liquidity. Richard said from the beginning, I am not doing that. If they want to list my coin, they have to go to the market and buy the tokens.
I just think it's easier for people to, get on board and learn about the coin if they see it on.
Yeah, but how early are you here, and how grateful are you going to be that you're actually?
I'm going to be grateful, but if I talked to you 7 months, if I talked to you 7 months ago, I'd be at your house ripping that Hex shield off your wall right now because my whole bag would be gone.
What?
It was
because the price went down. Because he
Well,
said
no,
because the
no,
price went
no.
down.
But you don't onboard as aggressively when you're on an 1100% pump.
I haven't onboarded anybody since, I don't know, February last year.
And that's why I'm in here, and I've been talking to you the past couple weeks.
It's a liability. At the end of the day, onboarding people is a liability because you're putting yourself at risk, right? If the person is crazy for whatever reason and doesn't enjoy that you told them to do something with your own advice, I didn't tell you to do anything. I told you you're in a shitcoin and you admit that you knew it. Just be honest, Luke. You're in a shitcoin. It's the worst chart I've ever seen, and you wasted your money on it. You wasted your family's money on it, and you have to eat that.
All right, guys, come on.
No, so we've known each other for a long time.
Dude, we're Call of Duty like.
Okay, but we're down. But Hex is down 80% right now. So now is the time to tell people, okay, this is a cycle that we have in crypto. It happens all the time. 95% dips are in the game. So you let this happen, and you get as much. Right now is the time to start DCA. Dollar cost average. The thing is that people aren't watching for is that version 3 of Pulse Chain, which you're talking about, layer 1 decentralization. Version 3 of Pulse Chain is going to happen in the next couple of months. I don't know exactly when, but when version 3 comes on, the doors are going to slam shut, and your chance to buy at these prices are going to be gone.
How are people going to understand what Pulse Chain is?
It's Ethereum. It's Ethereum copied over.
With better fees, quicker throughput, everything that you could do to a cryptocurrency as far as Richard's concerned to make it better, I'm sure he implemented.
Yeah, it's just Ethereum. It's just a better, faster. It's not controlled by just a few whales.
And Randy, I did want to ask you, and I've asked Jim Rat this a few times. Do you treat your crypto wallet as like a bank account? Like if I had an extra $200 that I don't want to, instead of throwing into a savings account, it's just your recommendation to, buy Hex.
That's kind of what I did when I got into crypto. I have not put a dime into crypto since 2016. I just keep earning it, and I made a. Oh, geez, I don't want to say numbers.
I'm just saying, in my shoes, what, is that a smart thing to do? Like, let's say I get paid. My bills are paid. I have $300 left.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because your fiat loses value in the system.
You do it during a bear market, guys. Bear markets are the time to DCA in. And in a bull market, you should be already positioned before that happens.
At the end of the day, you could probably spend $5,000 in this bear market. And like Randy said, now other people won't tell you this. They'll say they DCA in every day for the rest of their lives, which is probably not true for the most of people.
No.
If you have a big fat bag, you're not DCAing in, and they just say they do. I mean, they might buy at a really low point, put a limit order in on like 8.5 or something, try to get a steal. But you know what I mean? But anyway, I forgot what we were talking about right before that.
I was talking about treating it as a bank account.
Yeah, I mean, DCA, treat it as a bank account during the bear market. You will know when it's no longer the bear market because you're going to have weeks on end of the numbers going up, right? And then you're like, you go on the indicators, and the indicators or signals are telling you that we've had a green arrow for 3 months straight. You're like, oh, okay, we're definitely in a bull market now. Whereas I look at the, let's go on the monthly here. Sorry, I don't have this. You can't see it, but I'm going to just tell you. So on the monthly Hex, we have 1, 2, 3 months of bear, right?
And that's the longest ever, I believe.
Yeah.
Of bear. I mean, maybe early on. I don't know before big payday. But
well, the signals don't go. The far as the signals go back is 6 months for me. It was just not enough liquidity or anything for the signals to work prior to that. But actually, the transaction volume, just wasn't enough. But hey, this is the time to do it. It still might dip more, but that's why you dollar cost average. Like I was selling my Hex recently, and I sold at 32 when the Pulse X thing happened. I sold a bunch of liquid at that time. I had been trading so well that my whole Pulse X sacrifice was for free. It didn't cost me a penny, and I still did almost 20K.
Same here, by the way. I did the same thing. Got lucky though. It wasn't really.
Yeah, we all got lucky, right? And then the price kept coming down, and I started buying again at 18 cents, and I've been buying ever since. So this is called.
So you kind of switch. You kind of switch like a wave. Like you're like, okay, I'm going to ride this wave for a little bit and see how it does, and then you kind of feel the tide turning. Maybe stop for a few months.
Yeah.
Let it.
And the reason why I'm not 100% obedient to the signal right now is because tomorrow Richard Hart can announce that version 3 of Pulse Chain is launching, and the signal does not know anything about that.
Yeah, and that's another rabbit hole we have to
And
go down.
that'll cause like
Massive FOMO.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking about whale FOMO. We're talking about whale FOMO.
It's
We're
gonna
not
be
talking
nuts.
about me and my buddy FOMOs. We're
We
talking
thought
about
the PulseX
dudes.
one was great, where it went from 18 cents to or 12 cents to 32 cents in a week and a half.
Randy, I get so emotional because there's guys in my life like Luke that I really like. There's guys in my life that are actually cool, nice guys. They'll shoot the shit with you. They don't take shit. They'll talk shit. Guys that I actually want to fucking talk to. Luke's one of them. He's a freedom fighter. He don't do everything right, but he's cool as fuck. And I get so emotional because I want these guys to join me, right? I want like my friends. I'm not talking about randos on the street, Randy. I'm talking about guys that I played Call of Duty with when I was in 6th grade. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I want them to join me because I feel like, oh my God, we're early.
It took me. Listen, I'll give you an example. I took my best friend, who I've known since kindergarten. I won't say my exact age, but I've been pushing him to get into crypto since 2014 when I got in, and he never did it. Well, last year he got into Hex, and Hex was about half a penny at the time, and he went pretty big, a couple grand. He did a 70x. At the peak, he did a 70x. He's a teacher. He's never seen money like that, and it was only like a 10-month period. And thankfully, I had him staked for 10 years. He can't touch it because I know he would have touched it. He wouldn't be able to handle it. So look, when you do, okay, let's get into Hex right now. Why Hex? Hex, because it takes the degenerate out of you. You can no longer be a degenerate. All you can do is look at your crypto. You can just look at it. You say, okay, the price is up 100x today. Tomorrow it might be 50x. Then the week after it's 150x. You just don't know. When Hex hits $1, our swing is going to be 10, 20, 30 cents instead of half a penny or a penny.
I bought Hex at 2 cents, and 3 months later it was 54 cents.
That's similar to what my friend went through.
And that's just that's the cards. I heard the word Hex and dug into it at that moment. It had nothing to do with the pump there was a guy that mentioned Hex as a great project, loved Richard Hart, heard it in the back of my head, watched a Motley stream, and I FOMO'd, right?
And that's what I wanted to ask you guys about. You guys are, Hexicans, you back it 100%. If you guys got into a crypto, like anything, XLM, Sol, anything, you guys would be doing the same. If you guys made a lot of money on that, you'd be doing the same thing with that token.
You might be right.
Actually, no. I mean, I've been doing this since 2014, and I launched 40 projects. I did that with Steam, right? Steam is the only one that I actually made an absolute killing on. It's because I 100% believed in the project. A lot of times you get into something because you do FOMO into it and you don't believe in it yet because you haven't seen those gains. You haven't seen the opportunity. Whereas Steam, I was just doing social media on the blockchain. I was making about $400 a day.
Are you talking about like Steam as is it
Steemit.com? Steemit.com.
Okay.
Now they forked it and it's called Hive. There's both of them, and we used to make a killing on that platform. And my wife, she's like, "Oh baby, I want to get a pair of jeans." But go write a blog post, and she make $150. Next day, she cash out some and she go buy some jeans. It was amazing, right?
That's
and there was
so
people
cool.
making thousands per day. So there's plenty opportunities in crypto, but you got to really believe in something. And Steemit was great for me because
how do
of
you
the
start
community.
to believe? Why
Community.
me?
Community.
I just felt it because I was in the recovery community and you were in the Navy.
Yeah.
And
I
I
was a
don't
psych nurse. I was a psych nurse.
So he probably felt a lot of that, like, oh my God, authentic. People are saying what they feel. Maybe not all the time, but like within certain groups. I felt the same thing. I got sober for 6 years. I got thrown into this group and it was like, everyone wants to support me and everyone thinks that if I do good, it's good. Like I kind of got that vibe where before in my past, that was not the case. Like it was not.
Yeah.
And then
you need the community to support you. And Hex is probably a top 5 community in crypto now. It'll probably be number 1 our next bull run.
as far as size.
Does
Like
Hex have a
our
community like a Telegram that people talk to each other?
Absolutely.
36,000 people talking all day long. I don't go on there either.
It's too chaotic for me. It's too many people.
I post my YouTube thumbnail and say, like, if anyone's bored, I don't say anything much. And they're really nice in there. But if you need information and you type anything into that Telegram, you will leave with information. It's just like, once you get a little better at it, the information's a little more like nuanced and you just
I can't find it. What is it called?
It's called t.me/hex crypto. And then there's Pulse Chain, and then there's Pulse X, and then there's, if you want to learn more about Richard Hart, there's a couple. Richard Hart is really in my
Hex
opinion.
Official or Hex.com?
Let me look at mine.
Hex Official has 83,000 members.
That sounds about right. Oh, I don't know about that.
That
might be a fake one.
Yeah, that sounds too high.
I think that's just the one where they give out news about Hex. Hex.com is the one where anybody can chat in it.
And how much is that one? How many?
38,000.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, and Pulse Chain 62,000.
Okay, this guy has a comment on Randy. Agree with Randy. I made significant gains on XRP and ETH, but I don't even acknowledge those coins. And yeah, I want to reiterate that point. I bought Bitcoin at 3,400, Luke, and I wrote it to 57K.
I was telling Randy when you walked away, and I was in 2015. I had it when it was at 900 to 1,000, and I made $3,000. And they said, "Wow, I'm a freshman in high school. This is awesome. I'm gonna get that money."
You see why I keep like harping on this, like long terms, because the reason
I was a
that
senior.
I know.
I was out of high school. What the hell am I
But the
talking
reason
about?
that me and Randy, or I always say the reason me, I can't speak for Randy, of course, but the reason I know that I'm going to do well is because I understand that it's just a waiting game now, in a sense. A sense.
Adoption's coming, and it's coming really, really fast. We just launched Hedron a week ago, and that thing is just absolutely exploding in. And all that is a derivative of Hex. Derivatives are now coming to crypto. We have derivatives on the stock exchange where you can do options and puts and all that. Well, now you have derivatives coming to crypto that we are taking over. And I'm not saying Hex just itself, I'm saying crypto in general. Decentralized finance is going to be gigantic. And Hex was the first true DeFi project or product out there where it was treated just like a certificate of deposit. And it's worked great. It's been flawless. No days has it been down. There's been no glitches, nothing. It's paid out like it's supposed to. I've taken out at least 7 or 8 stakes so far, and reinvested some of them longer term to get some more T shares. It's genius.
Now, is T shares and buying Hex different? Like if I wanted to buy
Yes.
$25,000 in Hex, can I use my Hex to buy a T share?
Yes. So right now it's about 21,000 Hex per T share. And,
oh wow, really?
So if you want, you don't have to buy one whole T share. So if you stake for longer term, up to 10 years, you can, I think it's 3x your T shares. So if you buy a third of a T share with your say that would cost 7,000 Hex. If you staked it for 10 years, you get a bonus and you get a whole T share. So you don't have to spend the full.
You could spend $1,500 if you want to just get because I just did one like a single T-shirt the other day, so I kind of know the rate. It was like $1,300 to $1,500, and that means I get mine happened to be 4,000 days, that stake in particular, and that's 10 years on the dot, and my Hex per day on that. I just did the exact for one T-shirt is roughly 6 Hex per day at this moment. So let's extrapolate that 4,000 days. That means I'm guaranteed 24,000 Hex at the end of that stake if I do the contract completely, if it was to stay at 6, which it won't.
So if I have 25,000 coins of Hex and I want to buy one T share, does that mean I only have 4,000 Hex?
It's 7,000 Hex.
Does that mean I only have 4,000 Hex and one T share, or is it all integrated into one thing?
No, so if you buy a T share, that means I'm sending my 7,000 Hex into the Hex.com app, and therefore it is gone. It is now gone.
Oh, so then I only have 4,000 Hex in my wallet.
No, you're only taking 7,000 Hex out of your 24,000 Hex wallet.
Right.
So if your wallet's 4,000 Hex, you're taking 7 Hex out and putting it away. You're sending it away.
You're burning them, and they turn into T shares. And you hold those T shares for 10 years, and at the end of the 10 T shares, your T shares turn back to Hex, and you burn the T share, and you get to mint your Hex, and it'll be way more.
Do you recommend that for somebody that's going to have a small bag like me? Or
yeah, absolutely. I recommend it for a degen. That's
anything to get you off the keys. Anything to get you off your fucking keys, man.
That's what I did with my buddy. My buddy's like thanking me now. He doesn't even care that the price went down because he knows he's still up.
He knows in 10 years he'll be set.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he started out with 250,000 Hex, and he's set now. So you're in the situation where he is, but you're probably about 10 months to a year behind him. So
yeah, because I got in at 2 cents. Think about it. We're only at 5x from then, but a lot has happened since then. Trust me.
And then you're going to get double. You're going to get 2x your Hex. So every stake that you have right now, when Pulse Chain launches, you get double. It doesn't mean it's going to be double the value, but you're going to have double the Hex. And in the future, people are thinking that there's a mechanism being built by the PulseX team where they're going to be able to keep the prices of eHex and pHex very similar. I'm hoping that happens.
Just through the liquidity pair, like however they like.
They'll have a P hex E hex liquidity pair, and
Yeah.
that'll keep the price matched.
And
So-
that'll be good because if I buy $200 worth, I'm technically only getting 150 because of gas fees, which everyone obviously hates. So that's why
you can use
Matcha.
limit orders. Use
So-
Matcha or the other one that I use. I can't remember.
So listen,
1 inch.
remember I was telling you about limit orders the other day, Luke?
Yeah, which I'm only I only understand that about exchanges. I don't know anything about that for.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it on 1 inch or Matcha, and it's no different than a regular exchange. You just have to keep the window open though. And
Do you really?
Yeah, because every time I shut my window down, I lose all my limit orders.
And even if you pay the gas on it?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, you don't pay a gas fee when you're buying. That's a cool thing about limit orders on decks.
It's called 1 inch.
1 inch. I don't even know if you guys can use 1 inch because you're in the US.
No, we can't.
Not even
if you use
VPN.
Matcha.
You got to use Matcha. MATCHAWXYZ, right? The period.
MATCHA.XYZ, yes.
Yeah, XYZ. That one's that's a really good exchange to use for Americans.
Yeah. So,
Someone was saying there's incredible buy signals right now. Well, if I'm looking at my my app that I use, Aurochs, it is not a credible time to buy at this current moment. It might be a nice price, but still, we don't have a buy signal yet. We're still red. And as
that's
soon
why
as we have a green, I'll let everyone
there's
know.
time. Yeah, I was
You
trying.
still
I was trying to
So
tell Luke.
You could think I should hold it in Ethereum until it is a good buy signal?
No, because you don't own any. Because Richard could come out tomorrow announcing version 3 of Hex.
Exactly.
This is for people that are already in who are DCAing. Take your time. You could DCA, so maybe you buy 10,000 Hex today, and then you wait a week and you buy 10,000 more. That type of thing. If the price is down to 7 cents, then great. Then your average is going to be 8.5.
Because
Or
if you
9.5.
know that we know it has enough economic power to make it to 54 cents already. And that's the minimum if a push, in crypto at least, I guess. Like when things start pumping to get back to your all-time high, it's just like that's the basics.
Yeah, it was 12.5 cents to 32 cents for the PulseX sacrifice. That happened in like 10 days. It was pretty nuts. I was doing the yeehaw thing for a couple of days.
You've missed a lot of the bullshit, Luke, and you're getting in at a really good time because we just went through like an 80% dip, which is not really care if you're staked, but like the community morale goes down. Everyone starts fighting. Everyone hates their lives. Everyone who thought they could afford a Lambo last year only can rent one in Vegas or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone's pissed off. Like everyone's pissed off. They're like, man, I was going to buy my, the whole thing. So what I'm trying to do is just remind people, like, in my opinion, like it's hard for something to fail that's better than Bitcoin when Bitcoin already did what it did. Bitcoin did what it did. And then a man who was there the whole time, I assumingly created a project that he really does feel is going to be better than that. And the thing about Hex that's a little odd compared to most coins is Richard Hart is such a affluent person, right? Like he's like, he could be an actor. He really could. He could. The way he speaks, the way he can articulate nothing. He could walk me around in circles in a conversation about something I knew more than him about.
Because I actually believe that he's a front man for a group because he's so good at being a front man, right?
Oh, like, come on. That's so, like, he's so good. You're totally right on that. I mean, I don't know that.
I totally think he's got a great group behind him, not just devs, but I think there's
I thought there wasn't devs in Hex.
Well,
no, not Hex, Pulse Chain,
PulseX, the new projects.
Yeah,
Hex is a finished product, but that's not exclusive to the cryptos that he works on.
Hedron was built by a third party, had nothing to do with the Hex team. He just decided to build it. And Richard made it clear a long time ago. He goes, look, derivatives on Hex are going to happen. And Hedron was just the first one.
Talk to me about Richard Hart, Randy. I love Richard Hart. And I'm just going to say
I hated him.
He makes me feel like me. Everyone hates me though, Randy.
Yeah, I thought he was the most annoying person in crypto for years, because he'd go around with his top hat, the whole flamboyant thing. I never really liked it, man. The swag.
So
and all that.
Jawa in the chat just said, if you're trying to onboard him into Hex, then you're really doing him a disservice. Not mentioning.
If you are going to onboard him to
I did
Hex,
mention Hedron. Yeah.
So we're not mentioning Hedron. Well, first of all, Jawa.
They weren't in the pre-talk. They weren't in
Yeah.
our.
First of all,
went through
Hedron,
Hedron.
this man learned about hex yesterday. Can we start to teach him? Like, should I just be like, give me your computer, let me give you a bunch of fucking Hedron? So he's gonna be like, oh, a derivative of hex. He doesn't know what hex is. Jawa.
you give him a little bit of a taste, and then you add Hedron. You're shoving the whole chicken down his throat. He's like,
And Jawa, he is a degenerate gambling fool.
Not
this
anymore.
man-
I used to be. I've
if
calmed
this
down.
dude has 2 cocktails and a Bud Light,
Luke, you sell cars,
he's
right?
going.
I do.
You sell cars. Okay. So what I did with Luke is I qualified him. All right. I sold cars too. I was a VW master salesman. So
Fuck yeah.
Luke comes in the chat right away. He says, I'm a degen. I said, oh man, Hedron's out. You got to use that regular hex contract so you won't sell. Because the problem with Hedron is if you stake on there, you can sell your stakes at any time. That's
So you
that's
can
not a
sell
good
your
thing for a
stakes at
degen.
any time. I'm still learning about Hedron. Now I've claimed and minted done all the stuff that I was supposed to do as far as my free airdrop. Now I'm ready to start, and I don't care about I'm a long-term thinker. I've always been. I work out every day. I think about my future constantly. Like I used to gamble a little bit, but even Luke knows. Like we would have to have pep talks at night. I'd be like, Luke, you're really starting to fall off the edge. I need you to stop gambling. And I was kind of like the reason for you, right? Because I wasn't as crazy about it.
No, me and Jim Rat would have pen and paper thinking about which NBA games to bet on.
Ouch. Yeah.
Not pen and paper. You mean like 6 hours of research per day.
Yeah.
I gambled for 365 days straight, and I researched for 6 hours a day. I am an addict, but the lucky thing that I have is I only am addicted to one thing at a time. I never get addicted to more than one thing at a time. So when I was addicted to gambling, I loved it. I don't even care if someone mentioned $100,000 anything. It doesn't even tickle my pickle anymore. Like hex tickles my pickle because when I look at my rewards daily, it makes me ecstatic. It makes me think I made a decision that I went against everyone else, my family, everyone, all the pleb talk, and I made it myself. I dug in, I went and I paid for some courses, and I took it upon myself to figure something out. I was like, I'm not going to ask anyone else because they keep leading me in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Well, my family's old school. My father's always, Luke, any money you make, put into your savings, rack it up, 401k, all that kind of stuff, Roth. And I guess the new generation's different.
Absolutely.
Well, the money.
I don't have any of that. I don't own a stock. I have gold and silver, but that's about it.
Well, the reason he says that is he's like, Luke, you want 10,000 in your bank at all times. Let's say your water heater goes up or your roof needs replaced. You have the cash to do it.
USDC, bro. USDC.
I do too.
Yeah,
I got USDC in there, baby. I'm smart with it too. Like I took some games from Hex and USDC'd it for my. I have to get an AC unit.
Why
And
USDC?
come on, guys,
Is
we got
USDC and
7,500.
USDT the same thing?
No.
Yes, and what is the one for BNB? You should know this.
Well, USDT is BNB.
Oh, is it? I thought what's
No,
the
USD
DAO one?
I transfer all mine to USDT.
What's
and it works
DAI?
every
What is
time.
DAI?
DAI is it's like a decentralized version of a stable coin. It's the best one, by the way. It is the safest. They can't lock your account up.
Well, BNB is the same thing. You have to, for those coins, you have to switch it from BNB to BP20, which is like ERC20. And then you use Pancake Swap instead of Uniswap or whatever
Absolutely.
that is.
Yeah, they all work the same. Just that I don't trust USDC or USDT for a long period. If you're going to trust something, trust DAI. If you're just going to hold it for like a year or 6 months or something, that way you don't wake up one day with your account locked or your coins gone, because they have the admin keys for USDT and USDC. No matter if it's on BNB, Tron, doesn't matter where it's at, they hold their keys.
So
It's
you like if you sell and you made a bag and you put it into USDC, you don't put it into a bank account for you to So how do you pay things with it without a dollar bill?
I have I'm in Panama, and I just go down to my buddies that have their own swap shop here in Panama, and I pay 4% and I cash out whatever I want.
It's different in the States, I guess. I mean, there's Bitcoin ATMs, but
Yeah, usually their fees are pretty high.
Wait, I
for
can
Bitcoin
cash out
ATMs.
whenever I want. What you talking about, Luke?
I'm
Yeah,
talking.
you
Do you
cash-
put it into your
You
bank
can cash out
account?
you can cash out to a bank account like with Kraken or Coinbase.
Yeah, no,
but,
I haven't had a huge issue unless there's a dump or a pump.
just
No,
remember,
there's no issue, but I'm saying like when you cash out like that, there's tax purposes involved.
Yeah,
and
be careful with Coinbase too. They are a World Economic Forum members, so they are not a good guy. So if you're going to use anybody, use Kraken. I would recommend
Wow.
use Kraken.
I don't know if we can, Randy. Can we?
No, we
Yeah.
can. I have a buddy
Yeah.
that uses
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because that's where you buy. That's where you used to buy Polkadot. That was the only place I could buy Polkadot before it was.
You're not in New York City. I mean, as long as you're not in New York, you can use Kraken.
I would rather be dead, Randy. I'd rather be dead than be in New York City. I can't help it. I mean, I like going there for shopping in the wintertime. I go down there to shop for Christmas, but anything longer than that, 2 days and spending probably enough to live in Panama for 3 months just to get dinner.
Exactly. I'm from
Silly.
Rochester, New York, and I hate the city. So it's just,
I mean, it's just so expensive, Randy. Can we? If you love the city and every view and everything, you're priced out unless you're like a serial entrepreneur.
yeah, just take the red bus, take a tour. That's all you need to do.
Jawa's telling me to not stake my hex. He's telling me to just.
Jawa's not telling you correctly. If
Don't
you stake your hex,
listen
you're
to
gonna sell your
Jawa
hex.
about everything, bro. You don't.
I'm not.
Dude,
I'm just trying to be involved with the chat.
No, I know, but he's taking it too far. He's going from a use case to the whole case, and staking is the ultimate case because I have to keep your silly fingers off the keys so you can be rich in the future. You have to keep your silly fingers off the keys. When we're talking about Hedron and stuff, we're talking about 20% of our bags maximum. I think, but I don't know.
I wouldn't put it all in. No way I'm putting everything in Hedron. I'll put a portion of it, that's for sure, but not all of it.
Yeah, and you'll see it through. That's what smart men do. Why go all in on something that has improved itself? Not saying it doesn't deserve it. It might deserve it. Isn't being an NFT the whole function of it? Randy can talk to you about that if I
was going to show you guys my staker app, but there's no way I can't cover everything. But it says I'm 100% staked. So I do have some in another wallet.
I believe you 100%.
I have a liquid wallet as well.
What's your recommendation for me, Randy, if I put 1 ETH into it? How much do you think I should stake?
Stake probably 50% of that for 10 years. So you can't touch it. The rest, either keep liquid or put it into Hedron so that you can, if you want to, you can, get some money out. Joe made a good point. People are going to try to sell these stakes. Most of them are going to overprice their stake because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. If the whole point is Hex goes up 100x in the next year and a half, and you want to sell one of your Hedron stakes, you sell it at a discount of a couple percent, and then it's going to sell. But if you try to sell it above the market rate, like, oh, it's a 15-year stake, so it's got this much value. No, you're not going to get that much money. You're going to have to sell it for the current value minus 2 points or something, or something like that to get the sale. It's no different than selling a car. The dealer down the street selling it for $500 cheaper. 90% of clients, unless they're your repeat customer.
Well, we're a little bit different than you. It's me and another buddy that he
Okay.
started. Yeah, it's
I sold.
We have a customer base that we.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you understand what I mean, though. If a car dealers there's no loyalty to dealers, so
at all.
That's just how it rolls. It's bad, man. So that's how it's going to be with Hedron.
I hear nothing but hate about liquid loans, Randy.
Liquid loans? Why are we going into liquid loans?
I don't know. I just was wondering about it.
I don't feel any hate. I sacrificed for liquid loans.
I did
too. Why? Because I'll never have to sell my pulse chain.
No, I know. I don't know if I know the use case of it is incredible. I mean, but I just, for some reason, I just keep going to these groups. I don't say much, but I just listen. And all the Hex people are so freaking hard-headed, and I can't get through on, because I just listen, right? Like when I'm not streaming, I just listen. I'll tweet, but like most of the time I'm looking for information from the people I have my notifications on. Like I have like 10 people with my noties on. And it's insane because I go into these other groups. Impressionable. I am impressionable. And I do not know who to believe all the time about my information, because some people say you are the dumbest human in the history of the world for sacrificing 1 penny for liquid loans.
Nah.
And liquid loans is just like a way not to sell your pulse chain when it comes out, Luke.
Yeah, so liquid loans is it's a loan protocol. So you can stake your pulse chain in their platform and take a loan against it in stable coins. It's great. So if you do 1,000% loan, the price could drop 90% and you'll be fine. If it drops any more than 90%, then you'll get liquidated. So, it makes sense to me. I like liquid loans. It's going to do just fine. Liquidity, which is it forked Liquidity, which is on Ethereum. People have been doing it for years on Ethereum. It works fine over there. Guess what? It's going to work fine on Pulse Chain. So that's why I invested in it. And people like to talk shit. there's just there's a small group of people in the Hex community that are really toxic, but it's like that everywhere. Every crypto has them, except the difference with Hex is we have some really friendly people in Hex, but we also have a large portion of, we got a lot of women in Hex too. One of the reasons why I love Steemit was there was a large proportion of women, and it brings
It's
a
nice
different
switch
energy.
up. Yeah.
It brings a lot of different energy. The Telegrams are pretty much all swinging dicks. You know, even if they have a female picture, they're mostly women or mostly dudes. But the actual community itself, my kid,
Totally cool.
I got him a new bike yesterday, a new Specialized, pretty cool.
So dope.
So yeah, our community is so different. You know, if I go into an XRP chat, oh my god, man, dude, roll my eyes. It's terrible.
And what happens if SEC, approves XRP and it's going to skyrocket?
Good for them. I mean, they've been saying it
You
for
don't-
5 years. I mean, sooner or later it might happen.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, buy the rumor, sell the news on XRP, it was like dead 3 years ago. I feel like if anyone with a brain is thinking that, I mean, because they've been talking about this for 4 years straight. How long do you want people to wait?
Sooner or later, it's probably gonna happen, but I'm not counting on it. There's so many other things that are gonna look. When I got indexed, I made a great video about this, my XRP experience. If I would have just kept it, I would have probably had about 50 million by now. But I sold my millions of XRP on a 10x. So
Smart. I got in XRP when it was at like 6 cents. And I remember one night I went to bed and it went up to $3 and some change. I woke up and I was like, damn, that shit went down fast.
yeah, didn't stay up there. Didn't stay up long. I mean, I was buying mine at 0.2 of a penny, and it just went crazy. What the hell, kid? What's he doing?
He's riding that.
He's
He's driving that Hex bike.
Yeah, car across the wall or something.
Luke, think about some question. Anything you can think of. You're going to be doing all this right now. Is there anything any corner unturned? I mean, I'm not saying you're going to be switching all your stuff at the moment, but I'm saying in general.
Oh, it's already switched. It's on to ETH right now. I'm just waiting to pull the trigger.
Yeah, do the DCA. I would. Let me look at the chart.
Dude, the gas fees are so bad, Randy.
They're bad right now? Why?
They're like
I don't know. He just told me a
$80.
swap, and it was like fucking $80, and I was like,
No
fuck.
way. That sucks.
Dude, that's what he. Yeah, I didn't look the.
All right, so we
square
have
right now.
we're at 11.54. Yeah,
Which is a pump, but it did touch a trend line that
we just crossed positive again on the demand index, so that's positive. Yeah.
and we just pumped off that 16. I mean, we just pumped off that 12-cent resistance line from the initial 12-cent pump, which stayed on for a while. It had a nice hold on that 12-cent. So that's a big point for me. Like that 11, 12, 10-cent point. Like if it breaks under this, I would imagine 6 or 7. You know, like I would imagine it just goes the full complete 86%, 87%, because this is the longest. When I don't know any of this for sure. I'm just thinking on my feet, but like. It just seems like it's either the bottom's either going to be 12 or like 7, in my opinion.
Support is 11 point. Support right now is 11.35. Resistance is 11.65. So we're in a tight range.
It's a crazy little pin down that we're in, and it's whales are sitting at their computers, I would imagine, and thinking it's real strong because if Richard Hart, like Randy says, pops up on your notifications bell on a live stream, people are going to be paying attention extremely carefully. The thing about crypto is there is manipulation involved, like in no matter what anyone says.
Any market.
Right. And I just want everyone to know that I don't believe this is some free market over here either. I mean, I don't know what the definition of a free market is, but like, I think there's people that know exactly what's going to occur and when it's going to occur for the most part.
It's been like that for years. It was really, really bad in the beginning.
And the chart kind of shows it, Randy.
What did Hex start out at? What was the price on Hex start out?
Not first day.
Yeah.
Maybe 1/100 of a penny, and then it went down to like 1,000th of a penny. It went less than a Satoshi. And mid January to early February of 2020, it got really nasty for a while. There was hard to hold for most people, but I wasn't even paying attention to my Hex bags. I just let it ride. When we got that first huge pump in March 2020, that's when I started paying attention. And I was like, oh, wow, my stuff's worth a little bit of money right now. My
And that's
15K turned into 100K.
That's what I'm trying to digest is, people that got in that early, other people like me, and most of the population like me are probably like, it's just another guy that got lucky.
Well, why? Why don't you just think harder than that? Bitcoin
No, obviously,
was one penny.
I'm in this chat for a reason, Scott.
No, I know, but I'm saying Bitcoin was one. You don't need to think. That's not a thought bubble you really need to have. Like Bitcoin was one penny. Everyone fudded it all the way up. Everyone told you to sell all the way up. Everyone said, "Why would I'm late at $100?" Everyone said I'm late at $500.
You know how much I believe in it? My average duration is 9.35 years.
And he's a pro. He's a pro.
What do you think I should do? 10-year stake?
10-year stake.
4,000.
Yeah. At least 50% of what you have should be a 10-year stake.
And if you want one T-share, that's 7,000 hex at the moment.
Yeah. And then do the rest. Break it up into maybe 3 stakes, 1 year each, and then let it ride.
I'll have Jim Rat explain that to me because I'm not really educated on all that.
So you'll be doing 4 stakes total, and you'll end up getting about.
I've never staked a crypto, so that's why I'm confused.
Okay.
So what you do is you go to the hex.com website, and then you connect your MetaMask, and then it's very simple. You just type in the amounts, and I'll get to that. You don't have to do any of that.
Then take 1,000 of those hex and use the Hedron app and stake that out 55.
All right, you just convinced me to. I'll do that too. I'll do 10,000 in the Hedron once I get done with this here. That's a great idea, Randy, because then you can always take the B shares worth out, right? Whatever.
Oh, and then that's a cool thing. Once you've done it, then you can always harvest your Hedron. This is not going to make any sense to you, Luke, but you can take out your Hedron anytime you want on your stake. You do it like every 2 years. You take out some money and you actually earn Hedron while you're staked, as far as I understand it, and you can sell them.
Yeah,
I just need to stake it and forget about it because
Well,
for me when I was in the space crime, I was in my wallet refreshing it to see what it was every 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's not good. I mean, you're still going to do it with Hex, especially when the price is going up.
Yeah,
you're just not going to be able to do anything.
And you'll be buying more.
Degens think we're crazy that we're doing this at Hex, but I'll tell you, my peace of mind, my quality of life has greatly improved since I got into Hex. And the same thing. And it's the same thing with liquid loans. I'm going to be able to take loans out against my Pulse chain, and that's a non-taxable event. So you don't have to worry about paying taxes on it because you're just borrowing against your money, no different than you borrowing against your IRA. Okay, I'm not a tax professional. You should consult your tax professional, but that's how they've explained it to us. Is that you don't?
Do you think it'd be okay? Do you think it'd be okay for me to stake 50 and liquid 50, just to?
Yeah, but if you have 50 liquid, then you're going to sell it. That's just how it is.
I won't. I promise.
No, you will.
Don't believe you, man.
You don't know. You don't even have to. We don't have to ask you or confirm because you have no idea what's going to happen in your head, and we do.
I know. I've been there, man.
He knows what's going to happen in your head. You don't have a choice, dude. You were texting me yesterday.
I got 10 casinos. I got 10 casinos within a half mile of my house.
You'll sell it all, dude.
I'll go. I walk out to the casinos all the time. I know how I am. So.
Well, Luke, you have any closing statements? Randy, I'm gonna wind up the stream here because the Hex conference thingy starts in 7 minutes, and I don't want my 18 viewers to whore their whole. Yeah. But what do you think, Luke? Anything? Or we can talk tomorrow too. You can come on tomorrow, and I'll talk to you.
Thanks for the advice, Randy. I appreciate it.
No problem. And get rich doing this, man. This is the way to get rich. Just hold it and forget about it.
And Jim Rat, I need to speak to you later today because it's on ETH and I need to get it out of it.
Well, you just press the swap function.
I'm talking about staking it.
Hex. Dude.
Swap function.
Just type in hex.com. You will have no issue.
Well, you gotta guide them through it because the first time you stake, it's pretty.
True. The website's after this, we'll guide through it. Claim locks for 10x. I know. I was wondering. I know that, Jawa. I was wondering. That's not wrong. First of all, no. I was saying, when's the 10x multiplier over though, Jawa?
You have like 3 days. 4 days.
Oh, I thought it was over today. My bad. It might not be.
Yeah, 10
That's
days.
That's what I meant.
Launched.
3 days left, Jawa.
I think last Sunday was launch day.
Today is Saturday. Yeah. No, today's
all
Sunday.
Right, awesome.
Sunday.
Well, I'll let you guys go.
Randy, thank you so much for coming on, dude. I always appreciate it. Guys, we're live onboarding every single day. I mean, let's get it. That's what we like to do here. All right, let's go.
All right, Luke. All right, Jim.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys.